In a town that seems ordinary on the surface, the lives of its inhabitants are anything but. Each person walks a path that has already been laid out before them. Yet it is their own words and choices that determine which road they follow. Some are on the path to life, others to death. I am that I am, the Alpha and the Omega, has seen the end from the beginning. Every person's destiny has been spoken, and they are merely walking out what has already been determined. The roads are complete, yet the choice remains with each individual. Which path will they choose today? The story. Samuel believed he controlled his destiny. He spoke with confidence, boasting about rising above Shadewood. But every word shaped his path. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words condemned. Matthew 12:37. The power of life and death was in his tongue. But not everyone was so fortunate. There were many in Shadewood who had chosen not to believe. They ignored the warnings, rejecting the truth and following the broad road that led to destruction. Jesus had foreseen this, just as he had known from the beginning who would believe and who would not. But there are some of you who do not believe. For Jesus knew from the beginning who they were who did not believe, and who would betray him. John 6:64. Across town there was Miss Diane Mary. Miss Diane Mary spoke words of faith, love, and gratitude. She learned from Deuteronomy 30:19, "Choose life, so you and your children may live." Each morning she gave thanks, speaking peace and hope into her life. Her choice to speak life aligned her steps with eternal blessings. As days passed, Samuel's life became harder. His business failed, his relationships crumbled, and he became consumed by bitterness. Each negative thought and word he spoke was cementing his place on the broad road. He began associating with others who shared his mindset. Little did they know, they were all on the same road, leading to the same tragic end. Meanwhile, Ms. Diane Mary's life wasn't without hardship, but she always found grace. She clung to Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Ms. Diane Mary believed that I am had already worked out her future for good. She trusted in a God who existed outside of time. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Revelation 22:13. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement aligned her with the path to life. The words she spoke brought her closer to others who shared her mindset. They encouraged one another, built each other up, and walked together toward a life of peace and fulfillment. The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Proverbs 12:26. In the spiritual realm, the roads of life and death were clear. Those on the road to destruction found themselves bound to the consequences of their choices. Samuel was blind to the fact that his complaining, greed, and envy had opened the door to forces far beyond his control. His life spiraled downward, and it seemed no matter what he did, he couldn't find peace. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Galatians 6:7-8. But Ms. Diane Mary, though walking through many of the same challenges, reaped blessings where others saw only curses. Her life wasn't perfect, but it was filled with peace. Every word she spoke in faith, every action of love and kindness brought her closer to the fulfillment of God's promises. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Psalm 37:23. Conclusion. The people of Shadewood came to realize a terrifying truth. Their lives were playing out exactly as they had spoken them. The paths they walked were already completed. I am that I am had known from the beginning who would walk the road of life, and who would choose the road of death. Yet the choice was theirs to make, every single day. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Proverbs 16:9. Samuel continued down the wide road, leading him further into destruction, while Miss Diane Mary's faith kept her on the narrow path to life. Each choice, each word, each action shaped their destinies, proving that we are all exactly where we're supposed to be, based on the words we speak and the paths we choose. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. Psalm 128:2. The question remains, which road will you choose today?